Today we're going to talk the pros and cons between a crank-up stand and an aluminum weaver stand. Jason, Clear Creek Farm, how are we doing this evening? Today we're going to talk about the differences and the pros and cons between a crank-up stand and the Weaver aluminum stand. But first things first, I want to tell you guys all thank you for getting us to the first 1,000 subscribers. So at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about a little giveaway we're going to do. So stay tuned to the end and all the information will be at the end. So we're going to start right here and stuff with the crank-up stand. Some of the pros right off the bat is you don't have to worry about getting your animal up on here. You can be able to crank it up and down. There's a pros and cons with that. Sometimes it's harder to get your animal up on here actually because they don't have to jump up on here, and then you got to get them to stay on the stand while you're cranking it up. Another con to these types of stands, they're really hard to find. The crank-up stands are not really very widely made by some of the major companies. Most of them are made by little independent companies, so they end up being a little harder to find. And it seems like the quality is not as good on the ones that I've looked at in the past. There's a few out there from a couple major companies, but they're pretty expensive. They say you can put up to a 400-pound animal on this stand. The one problem that I ran into made by this company, which was a little small independent company, was here where the headrest is, I ended up having to put a heavier duty bar here because every time you went to use it, it would flex. So the animal would be standing on here and it would flex this front bar. So we ended up having to put a heavier duty piece on it, which that was something I did. Which the stand only cost me $250 or $300, which ain't all bad for a crank-up stand. It does handle our big 350-pound buck with no problems. So this stand's pretty easy to go up and down. You put a big animal on it, it cranks right up, no problem. It does what it's designed for. But the thing is, while you're cranking these up, and I've seen most guys do this, if you don't put the side racks that they come with to keep your animal from sliding back and forth on these until you get it cranked up, they will fall off of these. You can't just run them up on here, latch them in, and crank it right up because they will want to step off. So that's, to me, having to put the extra side kits on these to make them so they work is not the greatest thing. It does do what it's supposed to do, but I think that in the whole scheme of things, it is easier just to run them up on a regular stand. That's just my opinion. If you're not able to once in a while lift your animals up onto a standard stand, or the one that I'm going to review here in a minute, the Weaver stand, it's a good thing for you to have one of these crank-up stands because you don't have to fight with them getting them up on the stand. But you do have to take and make sure that you put the side kits on these when you're cranking them up, because if not, they will walk off the stand. Another con with these ones is if you're going to shows, it's really hard to take them. I made this one so I could take off the headpiece or the crank-up piece so that way it would lay flat, but still in my trailer it takes up way more room than what my standard stand does. So to me, that is a con, and I don't take this to shows, and I hate to say it, most of the time this stand sits over in the corner and don't get used. And it ends up being basically a catch-all for everything here in the barn. These do have wheels on them, so you can roll them back and forth and take them around to different places. When we went out to nationals last year, we did end up taking this stand, and only reason we took this stand was because we needed the extra stand. Like I said, it takes up a lot of room, but them are the pros and cons to these type of stands. There is a few of the big heavy duty stands, which I've seen them go anywhere up to the price of $800 to $1,000. If you can afford to have one of them with an electric motor and on that, all that stuff, more power to you. One last thing is up, because I know there's going to be some people that are going to go criticize me and tell me about how they have one of these crank up stands that basically collapses on itself and don't take up much more room than what the standard stand does. But they are pretty expensive. So that goes back to, you got to watch and see what do you want and how much you want to pay. So this is the aluminum Weaver stand. They run about $350 to $400. Probably depends on where you get them from. You can get them directly from Weaver. You can get them from Valley Vet, and you can get them on Amazon. And I will leave a link below for this one. And if I can find any of the other better quality crank up stands that will fit into the most people's budgets. So this stand here, one of the good pros is this stand is fully adjustable. It goes all the way down to that short, so if you have a super short animal or a newborn, whatever, or you can crank this up. Here, let me get there. Crank this up all the way up here to this high here and put a big buck on here with no problem, a lamb, something like that. That makes it so it's really versatile. You have a lot of people saying that on these stands they're hard to get your animal up here on here. Most animals, most of the time, will jump on here. If not, they do sell a ramp kit. I don't know if Weaver makes one themselves, or they do have some other companies that make a little ramp kit so you can run your animals up on here if you don't want to pick them up. I don't see that as something that I need personally. My animals jump up here, or I put 1 foot up on here and they take and jump right up on here. Another pro about this one is I like their headpiece. They're really comfortable for the animal. They sit in here pretty good, and you don't usually have a problem with them. There's other stands out there that have a whole bunch of different style of headpieces. I found out this is the best style of headpiece for most goats. I don't have no problems with the young ones. Their biggest thing is they try to twist their heads around, but if you keep it pulled up, they're pretty good. Another pro to this one, it has adjustable legs for the front. If you're working wethers, or you have animals that you like to put on a incline for fitting whatever out. Some people like to fit their animals on an incline. I usually keep it flat. That's just me. The one thing I would change on this is I wish it had the adjustable legs on the rear too, because then that way I could get the stand up to an area where I'm working. Yes, it would be more harder to get my animal up on here to be able to work it that way, but I think it would make it a little bit more comfortable for me when I'm working my animals. Another pro for this stand is that goes, you can collapse this stand down within like 30 seconds and you're ready to go. about 20 pounds, 25, 30 pounds. And it's ready to go. It can go in my trailer, and I can set this in the trailer, no problem, and it don't take up no room. That's definitely, for me, a pro, because we don't have enough room in our trailers once we throw all our supplies and everything on there. So that's definitely a pro. One of the last pros on this stand is that I don't see any animal, goat or sheep, that's going to be able to get on this stand and break it. This thing is built quality and made out of good aluminum. So for me, that's definitely a pro. But I know you guys are going to say, Jason, you had some cons about the other stand, but this stand, you don't have no cons about it, or very few. You want to know why? Because to me and for me, this is the best stand to have in my trailer or in my barn, because this stand collapses down, takes up a little bit of space, and I can put any animal, any age, any size on this stand and not have no problems. So there is the reason why the Weaver stand is what's for me in my trailer and in my barn. If you guys got some valuable information out of this video, please go down there and hit the like button, and maybe go over there and hit the subscribe button. But let's get on to the point that most of you guys are probably waiting for, our giveaway. Right now, we don't have that many things we can give away, so we're going to take and give away one of these Clear Creek Farm shirts, any size, and we'll get it shipped out to you. But how you guys get entered to be part of this giveaway is go down below, leave me a comment. It don't matter what the comment is, but leave me a comment. Let's see how many comments we can get. Post on social media and share this video for me. Help me out. Thank you guys for all your guys that subscribed. It's great to see that people are enjoying my videos, and I want to be able to continue to make more. So I'm going to leave some associate links down below for this Weaver stand on Amazon. And if you guys have any videos that you guys would like to see, please leave that down in the comment so we know what we can do for you to start helping you guys out educational wise and to better the goat industry. So thank you guys for coming along. Check out the videos on the side, and you guys have a great day, and see you on the next video.